Dear General in Army Raúl Castro, leader of the Cuban Revolution, partner Miguel Díaz-Canel Bermúdez, first secretary of the Cuban Communist Party and president of the Republic, combatants of the historical generation that honor us with their presence, all compatriots, friends of the world, as Cubans do not fear threats or blackmails. That's why they are here, together with us, together with the people, compatriots. Once again, we are here, across the island, across Cuba, in this historical Revolution Square, José Martí, to celebrate the International Day of Workers, where 25 years ago, the Commander-in-Chief, Fidel Castro taught us the most comprehensive definition of revolution that millions of Cubans followed. Today we celebrate the International Workers' Day amid a complicated international scenario. The world suffers a renewed imperialist offensive with neo-fascist expressions that search to redesign the international system and disregard the principles of peaceful coexistence and sovereign equity among states, and to undermine the conquest of justice and human dignity of the peoples. So ahead of this, Cuba will keep its steadfast decision to be loyal to our heroes and to preserve this homeland that, with a lot of sacrifice and bloodshed of the sons and daughters, they know how to win, and we will continue fighting, struggling, the fight that we wage for the consolidation of our independence, liberty, and social justice. Thus, we confirm the people, and the people confirms that within this march for Cuba, we create whose content ratifies the conviction that the main decisive and that the capacity of doing things differently. Our commitment is for a future of peace, prosperous and fair, capable of overcoming the current challenges, a future of optimism and progress for new generations that are just working with dignity and solidarity. That future is socialist. Workers that the revolution keeps steadfast as always, and it is not a byproduct of a miracle. It is the result of the contribution of every compatriot, mostly from workers that create and that sustain the development of the country, that workers are just focused and the government is focused on the welfare of the peoples and on the salaries of workers, even though it is not sometimes it's not possible to do it at the pace we wish, and we are aware that there's a lot to do, and that there are just negative trends that we must eradicate, including bureaucracy and styles of work that we must improve with discipline, effort, creativity, science, and knowledge. In that path, we must strive the productive reserves in each sector and each post to consolidate the faculties bestowed to our socialist company state and its attachment to the entrepreneurs, that to facilitate more offers and to the growing of currencies. And so it is vital to boost the production of food, to achieve our self-producing as everything as soon as we can. And so our struggle, we are aware that the truth and the reason and the justice are on our side, and we continue demanding the lifting of the inhumane U.S. financial blockade and commercial blockade against Cuba, which today is tightened up with new cohesive measures whose negative effects for the people are aggravated with the arbitrary inclusion of our country on January 20th to the spurious list of sponsoring terrorism. And the goal is to lead to shortages and destabilize the country and fulfill their failed dream of domaining Cuba. That's why we express our denunciation to the previous campaign against the Cuban medical programs that Cuba provides for service for over 50 nations, trying to erase the example of Cuba of humanism, solidarity, and cooperation. In this way, we reaffirmed the rejection to the genocidal war of Israel against the sons and daughters of Palestine. So we express our solidarity with the international trade union and the workers worldwide that suffer from exploitation due to the multidimensional crisis of capitalism and its neoliberal policies. The enemy won't be able to hide out that this celebration of the International Workers' Day in Cuba is a new and is an unique demonstration of the heroic Cuban people to its revolution, to a revolution that represents its interests, and that with the participation and commitment of all seek everyday solutions to the huge challenges imposed by the economic battle that we wage with our own efforts. And so we are fully convinced that as the leader of the revolution affirmed, General of the Army, Raúl Castro in its key address on the 55th anniversary, we can, and we will always be able to have victory. Long live the 1st May. Long live international solidarity. Ever onward to victory. Go ahead, compatriots, for our homeland.